Is it going?
We are recording. So, national news. I know yesterday, Romney took like three. He took Wisconsin, Maryland, and the district.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
This is partially because Rick Santorum lives in the 17th century.
Yeah. What do you think is gonna? You think they're gonna? Because it seems pretty open and shut at this point. That Romney's got like 655 delegates. Santorum.
No, Romney will definitely get the nomination.
Yeah.
Santorum is. Well, he lives in the 17th century.
You just keep saying that, it gets funny.
It's true. It's true. Jesus. Have you ever read excerpts from his book?
No, I didn't. I thought his wife published one.
Well, one of those two knuckleheads made a book. I guess she had a stillborn child, and they brought it home and named it, and introduced it to their living children. It's okay to laugh. It's fine to laugh. It's really screwed up.
Yeah, I thought the book was supposed to be about, just giving incentive for pro-life perspective, I suppose, is what he's argued.
Well, yeah, that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
I don't know that the dance of the stillborn fetus is necessarily helping their case.
Is it alive?
It's dead.
It's got to be dead.
By definition, it's born still.
Right, yeah.
Living things move.
It's got to be, yeah, okay. But what I was wondering, and this is kind of where I was coming from originally, is you think he'll get, who do you think his vice presidential pick is going to be?
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah. He's very from a minority. That helps a lot if you're a Republican. They don't have a ton of those.
Yeah. Yeah, true story. I've been reading that the female vote, I should say, is what's giving Obama the edge right now on national polls over Romney. So.
Well, I'm not someone who's ever really counted himself as a feminist per se, but just the way Rush Limbaugh and his guys have been acting in the last couple of months is really getting me there.
Yeah.
Grossly inappropriate thing to say about a law student coming to give her testimony, and you call her a slut because she has birth control. I'm pretty sure every single woman I've ever dated used birth control at some point in her life.
Most of them, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Or
it's kind of like the Republican Party just called every woman in a particular demographic sluts.
Yeah, that's
that hurts you with the women vote.
Yeah, especially when you're constantly on message. As it were. We're kind of on message. We're definitely on message right now.
Are we on message?
Well,
my father would be proud.
We're broadcast. So, we're broadcast somewhere, like I said.
Lizzie's watching. That's
great. I'm glad that we've reached a couple thousand miles now. So.
Yeah.
We're going to get this out. There. Wherever there is, like I said. She's texting you, isn't she?
Technically, I guess it's Gang Mills she lives in.
Gang Mills. Okay.
Which immediately makes me think of Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Lizzie and
Mills were the gangs, kind of gang up.
It's a suburb of something, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh.
I assume so.
Based on?
I'm guessing.
Oh.
I've never been there.
Well, she's contributing much to this broadcast.
Yeah,
she should know that.
And we want to thank you all for joining us on the Lizzie Show.
So, what I've got here is the Wisconsin Gazette, Medicine versus Religion. Patients at Columbia St. Mary's Airport Medical Clinic, Milwaukee, are greeted with a large silver crucifix on the wall behind the check-in desk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus suffering right there.
Jesus suffering, yeah. Hey, want to have your kid? Here's Jesus, dying for all of us.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I guess they're asking, every church, or not church, every hospital that I've been in has always had a small church area.
Yeah, chapel.
Yeah, a little chapel.
It's always, you know, St. Mary's, St. Agnes,
Right.
St. something.
Saying something.
Unless it's Beth something, you know.
I don't know why that's front page news. Pardon me, listeners. So okay, let's talk about something kind of interesting that my friends have been talking about, because this guy I knew, Bo Morrison, was shot. A 20-year-old male shot in Slinger, Wisconsin, after fleeing a party, being on a guy's porch, and the guy shot him in defense of the Castle Doctrine, or utilization of the Castle Doctrine.
Okay.
I guess my argument is a bit subjective because I know the guy a little bit. He was a nursing student, and he was an alright dude, from what I hear. But he partied hard, apparently.
Well, if they're executing people for that now, man, you might want to get out of sight for a little while.
Well, you know, I haven't been drinking for a couple days now, so.
Well, and I've passed the statute of limitations.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. I feel like we as a society don't want to make it too easy to blow people away.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, explain to me the Trayvon Martin thing, because that's national, and I have no idea.
Well, Trayvon Martin was a young black man who went to the gas station to get some Skittles and an iced tea, and he really played his cards wrong by being black and wearing a hoodie. Actually, our viewers can't see me right now. I'm wearing a black hoodie. This is not a problem for me. But this jacked up neighborhood watch guy named George Zimmerman started following him on the assumption that he, being black and wearing a hoodie, was probably out to commit a rape or robbery. That was Mr. Zimmerman's thinking, apparently. He called the police, as he had done something like 48 times in the preceding year. Well, don't quote me on that. It's off the top of my head. But the man was a serial caller of the police, and he was pursuing Mr. Martin. And the 911 dispatcher actually said, "Are you following him?" And Mr. Zimmerman said, "Yes." The dispatcher said, "Yeah, we don't need you to do that." And he nonetheless continued, got in a scuffle with young Mr. Martin, and having bitten off more than he could chew, pulled his gun and shot young Mr. Martin to death.
Yeah, I don't know that that's altogether wise, based on any kind of good judgment at all. Would argue that that's kind of foolhardy.
I would agree with you.
I think foolhardy is kind of a vast understatement.
Yeah, you're really giving Mr. Zimmerman the benefit of the doubt there.
But really, yeah, I'm really giving him the benefit of the doubt there, yeah.
He has not been arrested for this, notably.
He's not.
No. The police questioned and released him under the Stand Your Ground law.
That's what we were getting at, the Stand Your Ground law.
Yeah, and I guess, I'm so pro firearms. I've owned 3. Okay, I argued my senior year in forensics in high school for a very open interpretation of the Second Amendment. Even I cannot find any good reason why George Zimmerman would do this or why he has not been arrested.
Yeah, it's completely insane. Because we were speaking of this the other night and how that law is subjective, and I mean, there's reading a criminal law text, you can see a void for vague. They have no way to enforce that kind of thing.
No, not until mind reading is possible.
Right, yeah. No tangible way to actually test anything or reason that there's, some kind of justification for a guy to make so many phone calls and still pursue after being told not to pursue.
Yeah, and it's like Uncle Jimbo on South Park.
Yeah.
Hey, it's coming right for us.
Brave New World.
Brave New World. That has such people. Yeah. Complete the Shakespeare quote.
Can't.
I'm sorry then.
Not. Read the book. Didn't read the Shakespeare quote. Guess I should go a little further back in terms of that one.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's insane.
You're the guy that wants to. You want to try those new Google glasses?
I do. To be fair, I've also been arguing wide-eyed for about 6 months now that we essentially live in
the future,
the cyberpunk genre.
What? Okay. Explain the cyberpunk genre for the listeners and me.
Cyberpunk came out of the new wave of science fiction in the 70s, which was focused less on like space opera and grand epic adventures and more on people having weird psychological experiences in science fiction or fantasy settings. Cyberpunk is specifically a world where technology is ubiquitous and amazing to our eyes, but the world still kind of sucks, and it's poor and dirty and violent, and then there's characters moving through this poor, dirty, violent world with this ubiquitous information technology and full immersive VR stuff. Neuromancer. I have a character from Neuromancer tattooed on my left calf. There's a reason.
Oh yeah. If Brenna Olsen ever gets hold of this feed.
Yes. Oh yeah. My tattoo was drawn by Brenna Olsen. Call her if you're looking for a tattoo.
Don't give her cell phone.
Well, I'm not giving her cell phone. I guess you have no real way of reaching her. But if you're walking around in the mall and you happen to meet a young lady and she's like, "Oh, hi, my name is Brenna Olsen," just get a contact info.
Trust it.
And have her draw you a nifty science fiction pinup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, as a man who've never been tattooed, no real interest. But she's a phenomenal artist from the work I've seen, so.
Lizzie wants me to show the tattoo to the camera, and I don't think I'm going to do that.
Sorry, Lizzie.
It's healing fine. Thank you for asking.
It is healing fine. I've seen it.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I've heard Shanghai, China described as like verifiably cyberpunk by people who've lived there.
Yeah. Not Japan? Nowhere?
Japan, I guess I don't know anyone who's lived in Japan.
Right. Because
it's expensive. Theron was going to go there, but instead he's going to Japantown in San Francisco.
Oh.
I guess they have a festival late in the summer.
That doesn't sound like it's going to be Japan.
Well, no. There'll be sushi, though. Sushi and martial arts, and that's all he's in it for.
Oh. Got it. So, something's telling me that there's more Japan than sushi and martial arts, but...
There's a rich history and some really screwed up anime, but... Nuclear meltdowns.
Oh yeah, that's recent.
Godzilla.
Nuclear meltdowns.
Yeah, I did see in the news today that actually a ship that had been dislodged from the coast of Japan by the tsunami is now like floating to our coast. I guess the Coast Guard's just going to sink it because we don't want any creepy, weird metaphors hanging out off our coast.
Keep those metaphors at bay.
Yes, always.
Any dollar in a storm.
I don't know that I follow you. But I would like $1 if you're offering me.
No, I'm not offering you any dollars here. I voted for my manager at the election yesterday because there were a number of individuals running unopposed. So, screw them, quite frankly. He deserves a chance. Be a circuit court judge.
Can I say his name?
I'm not gonna say his name.
All right, well, we're just gonna call him William.
All right, let's just call him that.
William is a 10-foot beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi. That's not true. That's Bill Brasky.
We'll call him Bill Brasky.
We're gonna call him Bill Brasky.
But at any rate, he wrote me in for city comptroller.
A job for which Dominic is profoundly qualified.
And I wrote him in for city treasurer. As well as like 10 circuit court judges.
He's got to win one of them.
Yeah. And there's a guy I know, and I was talking about this with Tim, actually, the other day, in front of Fuel Cafe, no less, about how this guy voted for Rick Santorum, although being a Democrat, an outspoken Democrat, because he thinks that if Santorum got the nomination and won the election, by some stretch of the miracle of the God that he would like to believe in, that it would usher in a new era of angry rock and roll.
So, that gentleman may have something there.
No, he's insane, and that's a stupid reason to vote for anybody.
No, it's a stupid reason, but it's going to be our consolation if some, insane Republican holy warrior wins the election. Think of how great the music will be.
Don't need another Bush kind of leader. Don't need to rock against Santorum.
I would rock against Santorum.
Yeah, we would. Don't need another one. Done with that.
Okay.
All right.
If
you say.
I realized one day while I was making dinner and listening to music that in the preceding 10 minutes of just letting my iPhone play on shuffle, I had heard 3 separate songs that began with a satirical voiceover from George Bush.
It'd be great to sample is actually Sagan's Pale Blue Dot. Like that whole excerpt.
Yeah, I feel like that would go really well with some techno.
Or some rock and roll,
Or some rock and...
I just got rock and roll in my head all the time.
That might be Vision right there.
If nothing else, I think I may have Vision. I hope. I hope we can call it Vision.
I hope that too.
Otherwise, I have nothing to put on a resume.
You can't really put Vision on a resume.
Yeah, but you can prove Vision. Through art.
That's what I'm gonna do on my next job interview. Is I'm gonna walk in with a bunch of my fiction. And they'll be like, "What can you bring to this company?" And I'll slam my fist down and scream, "Vision!"
Synergy.
Yeah,
synergy. So I guess we're 20 past right now. So
okay.
We've kind of hammered out some good things. So talk about your poetry class today.
My poetry class.
Yeah, because John's an individual with some quarrels.
Well, I don't know. This was a pretty alright class. This is the last class before I get my completely useless creative writing degree. And then I'm going to go apply for a job down at the Creative Writing Factory. Yeah.
And just pump it out.
All day. All day. Just units really moving.
Widgets and gadgets.
Gadgets, sprockets and wingdings.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Economic jargon. Yeah.
No, I did go into my teacher's office hours a couple of months ago, and we talked about a poem I was working on, which is kind of weird in and of itself because I'm a fiction writer. I've just taken this class so I could finally finish the degree. But I asked him what he was working on, and he's working on a novel, which tells you everything you need to know about modern academic poetry. And even the poets are going to fiction.
No, I get it. You're looking at me like, do you get it? No, I get it.
I'm not giving you that look. This is smarm. This is smarm.
Oh, got it.
Snark?
Snark, smarm. Okay. Discern those gestures. But yeah, you were saying.
Well, let's see. I feel like this one...
Are you going to read it?
I could if you want me. I don't think I want to, though.
No, if you want to maintain the privacy of...
It's only a 5th draft.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, yeah, by all means. If you feel like you want to read it, go ahead.
I'm good. It's only the 5th draft.
That's fine. I mean, it's a 5th draft. That sounds...
Well, and if this was fiction, we'd be done. But this is poetry. It's only 1 page long. So 5 drafts, you can do that in a night.
Okay.
It's just really a poem about drinking and doing drugs and sleeping with women you don't know very well.
Well, that's what happens. Is you sleep with them when you don't know them, and then you keep sleeping with them.
And you never know them?
And then, no, then you know them, and then you wasted so much time that you can't get back, and you don't realize it until it's way too late. And you've just you've lost, actually, because the word investment assumes that there's going to be some kind of return. But you've lost, really, so much time that, and you're drunk most of the time.
Yes, I was drunk much of the time.
Well, yeah, me too. But, you start sleeping with women you don't know, and then you get to know them. And then you start to hate them after you're with them like 2 years. It just... Yeah.
I don't know, I've only had one relationship that lasted 2 years, and that was actually a polyamorous relationship with a girl who's... I'd still call her a friend,
Would you still call her?
I messaged her on Facebook the other day and asked how she was doing. Nice girl. Still polyamorous. I mean, if, some girls might be broken-hearted at the parting of a relationship, but I understand she has not one but 2 wonderful boyfriends at the moment. So, good.
I would never tag you for a polyamorous guy.
I haven't generally been, and my last 2 relationships were monogamous.
Right, yeah, they were.
But, it really depends on the person you're with. I don't think most people are capable of it, to be perfectly honest. You really got to want that other person to be happy enough that you don't limit them to only your own shaft. So.
Right. I hear a lot of people hippie types, we'll call them. I'm not going to call them hippies.
Okay.
That might be derogatory. I'm on air.
It's slightly derogatory, but you're wearing a blazer, so this makes sense.
Standing up from Milwaukee. This is Bones Malone, early evening show.
And the doctor.
And the doctor with me. No, never be.
Or what? Have you ever been in a non-monogamous relationship?
No, I've not. So I can't really. I don't have that frame of reference, but I know it's something that I don't.
It's not something you'd be interested in.
Not something I'd be interested in. Kind of like men. Not interested in men.
Okay. Well.
That just. can't know that kind of frame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't go out looking for an open relationship at the time. I think
there might be a difference between an open relationship and a polyamorous relationship.
Well, and that's very true. That's very true.
Because you're like outspoken. Well, for a little bit.
A polyamorous relationship is kind of like having, I guess, multiple monogamous relationships. Like, you can have 2 or 3 partners, but it doesn't mean you can just, like, then sleep with someone you meet at a bar. That might still be seen as breaking a bond of trust. But
why?
Well, it goes back to, in a polyamorous relationship, nobody necessarily says, I'm never gonna get jealous, because that's unrealistic. That's really quite silly. Everyone gets jealous. People get jealous of all kinds of things, great and small, sane and stupid. Think what you've been jealous of in the last week. Maybe you didn't make a comment of it. Maybe it barely registered in your mind.
I'm jealous of a lot of people that drive, because I quite frankly can't drive anymore. So.
Yes, well.
So that's my own stupidity, though. And,
well, got a bike waiting for you back at the crib, by the way.
Terrible judgment, yeah. Yeah.
But
I'll have to get that bike.
But very important in the poly relationship, and I didn't know this term at the time. I guess I didn't have a word for it. Is the idea of compersion?
Actually, I saw that link and I looked that up.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, Yeah.
The idea of being in love with somebody else's happiness. I mean, yeah, which is, it's weird. It's not alien. I've been I mean, after a while, you get on after the relationship ends, and then you do realize that I'm just happy that she's happy.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, any relationship. That's how I try to leave it.
Right. Yeah. After a while now.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not really a spokesman for polyamory, and at the moment I'm actually single, on strike, as it were.
Well, I guess I can't call it F strike.
It's an F strike.
Let's call it sex strike.
Sex strike.
You can substitute it.
International Brotherhood of Charmers and Coxmans, Local 104. Put your tools down, boys. We're going out. Put your tools down. No. Don't you cross that line. It's a picket line. It's a picket line.
Solidarity for a little
Forever.
while. For a little. I mean, until I really
Dom, it was we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade.
Don't recite.
I'm not gonna.
I'll just yeah.
I've never belonged to an actual union. I have an office job, and we're just not ballsy like that. You want the honest truth.
Awesome. So this is a cool place.
River West Video.
I don't know if anybody's ever been here before, but you probably have if you're watching. This is really awesome. I bought my copy of Mean Streets here when I had it.
Mean Streets.
Mean Streets, Scorsese's first big one. Never
saw it. Any good?
It doesn't really have any memorable quotes. It's got kind of a story. It's kind of boring. I don't know.
You're really selling me.
Robert De Niro's character is badass.
Okay.
He's really badass. Yeah, so. Oh, right.
Yeah, we're on the radio.
I think I could say that. Right?
You think so?
That's...
I'm limiting myself to shucks and darn the entire hour. It's hard, but...
Yeah. We're okay. We're okay. Making alright time here. So yeah, I gotta work the overnight tonight. That's my...
and this is an experience Dom and I share because I previously worked at the same gas station and did third shift a couple times. And Dom, what do you think of the overnight?
More than I can say, more than I think I'm allowed to say on this kind of forum, this kind of public forum. But you get everybody there. You get all colors. You get the neighborhood users. You get the protesters. You get the good neighborhood people, the good residents. You get the people that work at the hospital across the street. You get the musicians, the people that work at Shank Hall, Body Ritual. The tattoo guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Lawyers, business people of all ages, people that come in every day and buy the same $2.25 worth of newspapers and the same 2 things of lottery in a newspaper and the same coffee and nothing else, or the same pack of smokes. Coworker of mine knows the price of everything in the store and can have everybody's cigarettes out, or anybody's cigarettes out, when he sees them walk in the door. So it's we'll call it the nexus of time. Everything rotates toward it. You know, nothing really gets.
It's where reality lives.
Yeah, it's where reality lives. It's where reality originates. Make that argument. But yeah, I gotta work midnight to 8 a.m., which won't be too bad. And manager and I are going to the symphony tomorrow. The Milwaukee Symphony.
The symphony? What are you seeing?
We're seeing the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
What are they performing? Do you know?
They're playing. I know they're playing a Haydn.
Skinnerd.
Fuck you. I had to do that. Because they're playing a Haydn, Petroviak, I think is the name. And maybe a Tchaikovsky.
I'm nodding and pretending to know what you mean.
Tchaikovsky,
It's classical music is my blind spot. I don't know.
Well, he was romantic, I think. But, well, anyway, I'm just spitting these things at you. It's okay. It's all right. Because you could do this with me all day with English classes. I would have no idea. But, yeah, it's going to be long. I'm going to have to, probably get up out of my seat a couple times. But, whatever. It'll be cool. He bought him, I guess, kind of... Because music's my thing, obviously, and he's never been there. I've never been there, and I thought, why haven't I been there? Because I think I should have been there a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if it's not awesome, at least you didn't have the experience and know.
Right, yeah. And then I'll just want to go to better and better symphonies.
There you go.
Chicago Symphony, Philharmonic, whatever.
There you go.
Yeah. Milwaukee's Symphony is pretty okay from what I hear, though. Even though I'll have to shirk my cooler shift entirely in order to make this happen. And just kind of move it to Saturday. Even though the order comes in Friday. So it's better to get it done Friday. But it's not going to happen.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, that is fine.
Oh, God, I just remembered tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I'll be working Friday morning.
Morning? My God.
Yeah. You'll also be there. Well, you won't be there, but you'll be in the morning.
I will actually be getting to work a half hour after Dom gets done with work.
So, John's got something. What?
I got a text from my sister reminding me that it's Good Friday, but since neither of us are Christians, I'm not sure why she mentions it. Oh, Easter Sunday.
You're going back to the family?
No.
No.
I got laundry and writing. So
One day I will catch up on all of my laundry. That's if I do nothing else in my life.
don't make a promise like that.
I obviously can't commit to that. I don't have the quarters to commit to that.
I don't know. Well,
Paul Ryan's budget is getting really a lot of publication or a lot of time right now.
I haven't looked at it.
I
What's
haven't
in
looked
there?
at it either.
What's he cutting?
A lot. I mean, he's cutting. That's
Well, it's Paul Ryan, Dom.
yeah. So, but there's something in the Journal today with Romney like hand right over him, laughing. But they got to be laughing about something. It's a primary.
It's funny, I guess.
Yeah, something's funny. Haha. Taking away your benefits. Living in poverty? Oh, yep. Get a job.
Dom, would you call yourself a conservative, Dom?
I don't know if I can disclose that kind of information on this kind of forum. We're not really taking agendas here.
Okay.
I'd say go with the historian's old perspective. I sympathize. I can sympathize.
Sympathy.
With either party.
Okay.
So.
I don't know. I guess ideology kind of bores me, and I just would prefer to talk about it like a big football game. Like, really good move by
Yeah, good move.
Obama. Yeah, good. Landed that one.
Yeah. I don't know what he's landing. Has he landed anything?
I think he's gonna land this election. He's gotten kind of good at this.
Yeah, he's campaign Obama.
He reminds me of a guy who did great in the interview, and then just stumbled for like years. But he's really getting it together. He's kind of good at this. Like,
what I don't get also is now. Let's just speak about the female vote for a second.
okay.
Now, what is appealing? I guess it's the pro-choice, obviously.
That's a big one.
That's got to be this so-called war on women that's happening, that they say is happening from the Republican Party. I don't know that's happening.
Well, I mean, it's tough to talk about either party as this monolithic thing that holds one view.
Right, yeah.
There's moderates, there's radicals.
Right. I don't know. And I don't know why women would think that Obama is the more physically attractive gentleman.
Well, I don't think that's why they're voting for him, Tom.
I mean, maybe it is. Hey, I don't know.
Aye.
The guy, okay, but if you put them side by side, I mean, Obama looks like he doesn't eat compared to Romney. Romney looks like he's healthy. We gotta trust in the jungle.
They're not going to a jungle.
I know they're not going to a jungle. Who's the dominant male? Who looks like the dominant male? I'm just saying. Is that instinct? Does that instinct still exist?
I don't believe it necessarily figures into
a vote.
Yeah. or as many things as many men would presume.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, well, this war on women. I don't know if that's happening.
I think it's easy for us as men to not see it, and so I guess I've made an effort to look for it, just to kind of test the hypothesis. And I guess you can make the case, if you'd like, that abortion stops a beating heart, or that it's not God's will. Although any claim you're going to make that's based on the mythology of a group of shepherds and precipitation farmers living in Judea 3,000 years ago is not going to carry away with some people. But I guess if you're a woman, this might come down to the very bare bones. You have this thing inside you, living off you, that maybe you never asked for and may have no means to support when it comes into this world. And I guess to those individuals, ending that, not life, but whatever that is, would be the morally right choice. We got a lot of people who don't get fed right now.
Yeah, that is true.
So, I guess there was a time when I was younger where I was kind of pro-life, but no longer.
I can't believe that you actually were. I mean,
isn't it kind of shocking in retrospect?
Yeah, speaking as a guy that's known you for a while.
Yeah. Be about 5 years now.
Yeah, so that's kind of out of left field, actually. I can't believe you're pro-life.
It's... we all did silly things when we were younger, Dom. Drank.
I've done some silly things.
Voted libertarian a couple of times.
Voted at all, I guess.
Yeah.
Now I look back at those voting days.
I don't know. I have a friend who's an anarchist, and he occasionally makes a very persuasive point. Other days, I think he's crazy, but...
Well, name a point.
Right off the top of my head. Well, you could make the case that as long as we view military conflicts as a government empowered by us to defend our interests versus a government empowered by another country's population to defend their interests, as long as you see it as that, then of course things like war and cutthroat diplomacy make all kinds of sense. If you could, and I don't believe in every situation you can, but in some you could, if you could make the case that these are actually just two groups of leaders using us as their pawns on struggles that may have as much to do with their own desires and egos as any real national interest, then you do wonder what that's all about.
What their motive is?
Well, yeah, I guess I had a political science class at Rochester Community Technical College. Okay, which was not a very good class at all, and was taught by this elderly hag who served on our county board of supervisors or directors or mandarins, I don't know. But she would jovially tell us in virtually every class that you can't be a politician without an ego. And that just seemed very obvious. That was a law of nature. You got to be a little pompous and a little self-centered to be a politician. And I guess looking back, I wonder why that's accepted. I guess I was raised with the term public servant. And so, why not that paradigm?
Right. Private servant.
Private servant. I'm a private servant right now in the let me get your bags there, Mass, that kind of way.
Yeah. For the order of the public.
The public.
It's a great word.
I guess I feel like on a long enough time scale, if you follow the thread of history, in 1,000 years, will there be any governments?
Small governments, maybe.
Maybe. And I mean, no one can predict that far in the future.
Right.
And there's better and even odds we'll just nuke ourselves.
Yeah. Or the world government. World
that's,
citizens.
I don't know how they're ever going to get Americans on board with that.
Yeah.
Scrappiest,
Yeah.
stubbornest, most irritable
Yeah.
electorate on the face of the earth.
Individualist. Yeah. Probably not.
Not, and I'm not celebrating that in our national character, nor am I condemning it. It's just,
Yeah.
we always have to believe we're rebelling against something.
Suppose that's true. Suppose it's very true. What are we rebelling against now?
Well, which side of the electorate?
Either. Pick a side.
Either. Leftists are standing in defiance and proud resistance against antiquated, Republican, religiously motivated jihads, invasions of privacy. And they ultimately view the Republican Party, I think in most cases, as the servants, the tools of an elite that has, in our day, been referred to as the 1% in
yeah.
some quarters.
Which mathematically does not make sense and is kind of impossible, but
1%.
the 1%.
Well, there is 1% of the country. It does exist.
Right, but everybody makes a different income. You make a different income than I do.
Well, but we're not talking about percents, but percentiles. The 99th percentile and below of wealth does disproportionately less well than the top 1%. That's true. No one disputes that. The argument is really between whether that wealth is deserved or whether it's been gotten by ill, whether this group has rigged the rules. They point to things like the bailout in 2008, where, I mean, I think a very natural question is, okay, well, the mortgages went bad, and that caused the stocks to tank, and that caused the banks to lose value, so we gave the banks money. And I guess the guy on the street with the mortgage is like, well, I'm not saying give me the money,
Right,
but why'd you give that guy the money?
Yeah.
So, and I guess for so many people in the business community then turn around and look at mortgage owners and say, well, what the hell did you do, man? You screwed us all.
Yeah.
I guess if I was a homeowner, I might find that a little disingenuous.
We know homeowners.
I know a homeowner, a landowner.
A landowner, yeah.
My roommate is capitalist. I'm not 100% against them.
Right. Man who I mentioned earlier in the show owns a couple properties.
Yeah.
So.
He doesn't, have serfs working them or anything.
No,
but,
he has tenants, and they have contracts and agreements that they have to honor.
Yes, and I honor mine.
Well, yeah. You're expected to because you signed it. And you read it.
Or that's called the law.
Right. Okay.
And you've got a bright future in it,
Yeah, well, maybe. Someday, somewhere.
Well, we're down to the last 10 minutes here.
We're down to the last 10 minutes. I'd like to, again, thank you guys for watching, making this somehow possible. I think
Milwaukee legend Tim Hansen for extending this opportunity to us. Tim, I think I still owe you a coffee.
I still owe Tim a lunch. I do owe him a lunch. Lizzie in New York.
Thanks for watching, Liz. Liz will be with the family this Easter. I will not. Tell them I said hello.
They can watch this, I think.
I don't know that I want to encourage that, but
I think we can get a copy of this. I'll share it. I'll share it a little bit. Alex at Fuel Cafe, if she's still watching, thank you very much.
Hi, Alex.
Really cool girl. I was surprised that she was watching too. For some reason I didn't expect that. But thank you. Awesome.
You gotta have higher hopes than that, Wiser.
Yeah, right. Everybody at Fuel Cafe actually is probably watching this, so thank you guys if you are watching this. In fact, the staff there, awesome food, awesome staff. I'm gonna go over there right after this actually and get something.
I didn't honestly know they served food, but I'm starving.
You didn't know this?
I've only been in there to grab coffee and then leave like twice.
Oh my god. Yeah, their food's great. It's known.
Is it known?
It's known to be great.
Why don't I
it's
know?
a well-known thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's known.
It's really good. Thank River West Video
For putting up with us for an hour.
for putting up with us for an hour, letting us do this. Hope this can be maybe a foot in the door kind of thing, maybe a future forum.
There you go.
Yeah, this could be good. I could get some. I could actually look at the newspaper before I get in next time.
Well,
We could
yeah.
talk about something.
Yeah, I think the folks at home should probably understand that this started with me showing up here 10 minutes before we went on, and only as we were getting up here, did it occur to me, are we supposed to talk about something in particular? So, we're not preppers,
Yeah.
you know.
I think we've kept it lively enough.
Well,
Interesting enough. People can interpret the perspectives and make their own judgments. And
but as you evaluate Dom's words, do keep in mind, he's wearing a blazer. Credibility.
trying to find the right angle on the camera.
Is the camera here?
I believe it's in the computer itself. It's facing me, like the eye of the camera is facing me. So yeah, you just waved in front of the camera.
Cool.
You did.
It's pretty juvenile of me. I apologize.
No, it's fine. You deserve. You should have sat here.
Next time.
Yeah. I can actually angle the camera too. But I'm not gonna fidget with that too much. So I planned on going to Fuel.
I might just make something at home.
I might just make something at home.
I don't know. It's that last week before the paycheck.
Oh, right.
And then paycheck, and then sushi.
Yeah. I've still never had any sushi.
You're living your life incorrectly.
Probably. According to a lot of people.
I just mean the sushi.
Oh. I'm also not Protestant. I was raised Catholic. So
I was raised Protestant.
a lot of people would say I'm wrong.
Well, I
here we
myself
are.
would say that my younger me was wrong.
Yeah, me too. Or I would say that my younger me was wrong.
Yeah.
I think a good, maybe a good point of discussion if we ever do this again might be politics more, maybe more current events even.
Yeah, I guess this is actually like the one day out of the year I did not look at the news at any point. Like, caught it a couple of times between calls at work, but
Christ.
really just running to get to class.
What happened with? I guess we do have 5 minutes here. So, something. My buddy got deployed to Iran.
Yeah, what's going on?
Bahrain,
with that?
actually.
Bahrain. Yeah.
There's a scare in Iran. I thought you would know about that. Obama's making speeches about Iran.
Well, I mean, we're always. It's hard to tell what's really going on with the Iran thing because you don't know what's a trial balloon and what's a real statement and what's a veiled threat.
Right.
So much of this has been done by intelligence agencies, ours and the Israelis. Looking back on what I know about it, I don't recall in much of it what was something I read on the internet, whether or not that got withdrawn later, or whether it was something my roommate told me over cigarettes.
Yeah.
You hear tales of Iranian scientists being assassinated, missile installations being blown up, concrete things like that. You can establish that they happened. You can't really, truly say, was that us? Was that the Israelis?
Right. No way of really gauging that.
Yeah.
Well, be interesting to find out some more about that because apparently Obama's tightening the noose.
Yeah, you'll note he's a little better at the diplomacy side of this than Mr. Bush was.
Yeah. Maybe he's got an in.
Well, I'm sure he knows something we don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he knows many things we don't.
Well, yes. He went to Harvard.
Yeah. Right. One day I'll go there.
Yeah, me too.
In a separate reality. Yeah. Well, I think it's about time. Still got your smoke? Still got your cigarette?
Yeah, let's have a cigarette.
Yeah.
And
we'll wrap this up. Thank you again, everybody. River West Radio for having us. Tim for giving us the time slot. Alex for watching and listening. The Fuel Cafe for watching and listening, if you guys still are or ever were. Lizzie in New York. Gang Mills, New York.
Gang Mills.
1,000 miles away. Getting it live.
I don't know if it's 1,000.
It's 100 miles away.
It's a long ways.
It's a long ways away. It's a whole different world out there, and sitting down for Milwaukee. This is the Doctor and Bones Malone, as it were, and as it shall be, I guess, from now on, unless I get a new alias. Have a good one.